I'm pausing. I'm not giving any special notes, and it is not there in the notes. In your book also you won't find it, because that time it was not included.
Like your alarm clock, it doesn't have a snooze button. Our internal timekeeping device is, logically enough, synchronized to the rising and setting of the sun. Many of your bodies...
Write down this. Many of our body systems are calibrated to the appearance and disappearance of the natural light. Okay, this is all comes, your systems are working based on the light. Sunlight, it appears and it disappears. The systems works. We'll come out to see that. Just note down this. And I don't know, next it is also explained about circadian. Yeah, note down this. This is the notes. Class, are you following me?
Yes, ma'am.
Please note down the notes. I said very clearly. I don't have any notes to be given for this. And I think it's not necessary to. If you have written, just say yes, I'll go ahead. Yes? Okay.
These systems are calibrated to the appearance and disappearance of natural light, and when we mess with that, things can get out of whack in a hurry. Circadian comes from the Latin circadian.
Latin word circadian is called approximately a day. It's a Latin word. Note down this. Circadian. There is circadian. It has come out from this Latin word circa and diem. That is nothing but approximately a day. Yes.
Or approximately a day. And pretty much all living organisms down to algae and bacteria have their own circadian rhythms. Whether you're an insect, bird, or a mammal, those rhythms affect the three big necessities: eating, sleeping, and mating. Everything from testosterone secretion to bowel movement suppression is controlled by this daily cycle. In humans, scientists are slowly beginning to understand how these natural oscillations take place every day. What we're pretty sure about is that the main regulator of circadian rhythm can be found in the hypothalamus, a small area at the base of your brain that's responsible for connecting the nervous system to your endocrine system. Our biological clock is dictated by a group of nerve cells within the hypothalamus called the suprachiasmatic.
Note down this. Suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN. Note down this. It's a very important part. Few terms you have to know. No spelling mistake.
Nucleus, or SCN. This is connected to our optic nerves, allowing...
Now see here. The light enters the retina. That's why it's close the door. If it is light, yes, you will wake up. So when the light, natural light, sunlight, it goes through the retina, and from that it goes to the optic nerve, and there is SCN over there, right? And this will give signal to the other body parts that please get up, it's time now, start working. So all the systems of the body will start working. You are doing nothing, believe me. It is only the appearance and disappearance of the light that makes the whole change in the system. Is it not? So the body will start working accordingly.
The SCN cells to respond to light and dark. So in the morning, when our optic nerves sense light, the SCN sends signals to raise our temperature, heart rate, blood.
This is what happens. When SCN gives a signal to the different parts of the body, and then all the system starts working. Your bowel, your lungs, heart, everything starts working. Then what happens? This is the thing that happens. Raises the temperature, heart rate, blood pressure, and delay the release of hormones like melatonin. Because melatonin is the one that makes you sleep. Now this release of these hormones will reduce. It will delay the release. Is it not? So serotonin will make you get the energy, and melatonin will make you sleep. So note down these points. What happens when the light enters through the retina, and then SCN, it optic nerves, and then the SCN nucleus, that is suprachiasmatic nucleus, will pass the signal to the rest of the part of the body, and then all these changes takes place. The body, the temperature goes up, heart rate goes up, blood pressure goes up, and the delay in the release of melatonin hormones will also, there is a delay in its release. This also takes place. Have you written? Yes? Class?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
blood pressure and delay the release of hormones like melatonin. That helps us with the sleeping. Researchers have found that as our body temperatures rise throughout the morning, our memory, alertness, and concentration also sharpen, so we tend to be at our
We are the best in the morning. Late morning, see, our understanding is the highest.
cognitive best in the late morning, and that is generally followed by an afternoon lull. In fact, while our desire to sleep is
Write down this. The desire to sleep is strongest from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Yes, that is basically 1400 hours to 1600 hours. Where you feel 2 a.m. to 4 p.m., 4 a.m., that is early morning. So this is the time when you feel the maximum sleep. So this is, that's where, the truck drivers, they go and hit and come, do those kind of accidents. Because this is the time the desire to sleep is the highest.
strongest from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. A close second is between
Again, from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. just in the afternoon. You have a siesta, cat's nap, you see. Is it not? That is where again you feel sleepy.
2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Now, that may sound counterintuitive, unless you have ever had a class at 2 p.m. in a nice warm room and suddenly that wooden desk starts to feel a lot like a feather bed. This suggests that napping is an important and natural part of our daily rhythms, so don't feel bad about it. No other species exhibits the same once-a-day sleep pattern that most humans have become accustomed to, and there's growing evidence that mid-afternoon napping might be in all of our best interests. That afternoon lull is followed.
Now, this is something you better take a picture. Everyone take a shot because it takes time to write. So then you can note down this later. So the whole thing, they have put it in a beautiful way that at 6:45, when the sunlight enters your retina, then that is the time. What happens with that? 6:45, the blood pressure goes up. The melatonin secretion stops by 7:30. No more melatonin. You'll stop feeling sleepy. Bowel movement starts moving, and testosterone secretion is at the highest, of course, at 9 o'clock. High alertness, best coordination, then fastest reaction time. You're able to react very quickly, and cardiovascular efficiency is greatest by 5 o'clock. And then you come down in the evening till 6:30. Your high blood pressure, 7 o'clock, highest body temperature, melatonin secretion starts at 9. Means that is the time you feel, wow, I'm feeling a little sleepy, you start yawning. And 10:30, you'll have a bowel movement suppressed. Very important. That's why your great grandparents and all, they say, I don't eat food after 10:30. There is a reason. It is proved now. The bowel movements is suppressed. So don't eat anything after 10:30. It will be slow digestion. Next, 2 o'clock is the deepest sleep. 4:30 is the lowest body temperature. Still, that is the time when you are having a deep sleep. So the strongest desire to sleep is between 2 and 4:30. So just you take this picture, as I said, because it's difficult to write. This is all about the entire day.
Followed by another period of alertness, but in the evening, as the sun disappears, the SCN again picks up those signals of changing light from our eyes, organs shift into low gear, our body's temperature cools, and sleep-induced hormones are activated. The problem is that our daily schedules...
Write down this. This is the problem. This is a drawback. Our daily schedule is not related to the sunrise and sunset. We are all doing night watch and night shift, and the boys keep working on the video game, whatnot, chatting, everything at night. They're going against this circadian rhythm. You have to respect this. Is it not? So because you see, when the body temperature cools down, see, you're doing nothing. That is the time you get sleep. And that's the time you want to be awake. You cannot go against this circadian rhythm. Yes. And see what can be the consequences.
Do not correlate with sunrise and sunset anymore. What with working and studying and late-night Redditing, we're constantly fighting that master clock that's been trying to keep us in sync since we were babies. Scientists have linked disruptions to...
Yes. This is what scientists have said. These disruptions to our natural rhythm, they lead to these health issues like diabetes, obesity, depression, and dementia. These are the outcomes. What is dementia? Is loss of memory. So all these are causes. You should avoid it. You can easily avoid it. Respect the circadian rhythm that at night, okay, you have to sleep. Don't be awake at night. You're going against this, and this will be all these consequences. Please note down this. Just take a minute. Quick. If you're written, you let me know. Yes? If you're written, let me know, I said. Yes? Done?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Please write it down because I'm not giving any notes. Not required. This is enough.
Our natural rhythms to health issues ranging from diabetes and obesity to depression and dementia. It's believed that up to 15%.
Write down this. 15% of our genes, my God, can be controlled by this circadian rhythm. It is regulated. So dangerous. So a genetic disorder it can create. Note down this. If you're done, then tell me. Yes, done?
Of our genes may be regulated by circadian rhythms. So when you get off that next transatlantic flight or finish pulling that all-nighter, do yourself a favor, listen to your body and take some more naps. I'm going to go down for one right now because we're approaching the 2 p.m. thing. So I'm not sure how this is going to look with the green screen, you guys, but I don't care. I'm sleepy. Thank you for watching this SciShow Dose, and an extra special reverend thank you to President of Space Kurzgesagt. You can check out his YouTube channel to find out how you can be decreed President of Space by me, and a whole slew of other ways you can help keep us going here at SciShow. You can go to subbable.com. If you have any questions or comments or ideas for us, we're on Facebook and Twitter, and of course, down in the comments below. And if you want to keep getting smarter with us, you can go to youtube.com/SciShow and subscribe.
The last few minutes is a little bit of his talks, no issue. So basically, if you see, I've got one more to go on. Just a minute. This is also equally important.
In 1965, 17-year-old high school student Randy.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, I think yeah. Can you see this? Yes? This also speaks importance of sleep.
In 1965, 17-year-old high school student Randy Garner stayed awake for 264 hours. That's 11 days to see how he'd cope without sleep. On the second day, his eyes stopped focusing. Next, he lost the ability to identify objects by touch. By day 3, Garner was moody and uncoordinated. At the end of the experiment, he was struggling to concentrate, had trouble with short-term memory, became paranoid, and started hallucinating. Although Garner recovered without long-term psychological or physical damage, for others, losing shut-eye can result in hormonal imbalance, illness, and in extreme cases, death. We're only beginning to understand why we sleep to begin with, but we do know it's essential. Adults need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, and adolescents need about 10. We grow sleepy due to signals from our body telling our brain we are tired, and signals from the environment telling us it's dark outside. The rise in sleep-inducing chemicals like adenosine and melatonin send us into a light doze that grows deeper, making our breathing and heart rate slow down and our muscles relax.
So this adenosine and melatonin, they make us sleep, isn't it? The temperature goes down, and that allows you to sleep.
Non-REM sleep is when DNA is repaired and our bodies replenish themselves for the day ahead. In the United States, it's estimated that 30% of adults and 66% of adolescents are regularly sleep-deprived. This isn't just a minor inconvenience. Staying awake can cause serious bodily harm. When we lose sleep, learning, memory, mood, and reaction time are affected. Sleeplessness may also cause inflammation, hallucinations, high blood pressure, and it's even been linked to diabetes and obesity. In 2014, a devoted soccer fan died after staying awake for 48 hours to watch the World Cup. While his untimely death was due to a stroke, studies show that chronically sleeping fewer than 6 hours a night increases stroke risk by 4.5 times compared to those getting a consistent 7 to 8 hours of shut-eye. For a handful of people on the planet who carry a rare inherited genetic mutation, sleeplessness is a daily reality. This condition, known as fatal familial insomnia, places the body in a nightmarish state of wakefulness, forbidding it from entering the sanctuary of sleep. Within months or years, this progressively worsening condition leads to dementia and death. How can sleep deprivation cause such immense suffering? Scientists think the answer lies with the accumulation of waste products in the brain. During our waking hours, our cells are busy using up our day's energy sources, which get broken down into various byproducts, including adenosine. As adenosine builds up, it increases the urge to sleep, also known as sleep pressure. In fact, caffeine works by blocking adenosine's receptor pathways. Other waste products also build up in the brain, and if they're not cleared away, they collectively overload the brain and are thought to lead to the many negative symptoms of sleep deprivation. So what's happening in our brain when we sleep to prevent this? Scientists found something called the glymphatic system.
Please note this glymphatic system. See, what is this system? This is clearing all those byproducts. The whole day the head is getting all filled up with all these byproducts, and this is going to get washed, and the system is called glymphatic system.
Cleanup mechanism that removes this buildup and is much more active when we're asleep. It works by using cerebrospinal fluid to flush away toxic byproducts that accumulate between cells. Lymphatic vessels, which serve as pathways for immune cells, have recently been discovered in the brain, and they may also play a role in clearing out the brain's daily waste products. While scientists continue exploring the restorative mechanisms behind sleep, we can be sure that slipping into slumber is a necessity if we want to maintain our health and our sanity. Much more active when we're asleep. It works by using cerebrospinal fluid.
This is a cerebrospinal fluid. That is the system, and this is the fluid. Just note down this fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid. This washes all the byproducts and all the toxins in between the cells. And that's when does it take place? When you're asleep. So sleep is important, is it not? So this shows that yes, you can have some naps, short naps, long naps. Yes, that is also good. But if you don't take naps also and you are deprived from sleep, then it can cause a death also. That's where we saw 2 days, the person lost his vision, his hearing quality. So not, he couldn't concentrate. These are the drawbacks.
Fluid to flush away toxic byproducts that accumulate between cells. Lymphatic vessels, which serve as pathways for immune cells, have recently been discovered in the brain, and they may also play a role in clearing out the brain's daily waste products. While scientists continue exploring the restorative mechanisms behind sleep, we can be sure that slipping into slumber is a necessity if we want to maintain our health and our sanity. Much more active when we're asleep.
Oh, sorry.
It works by using cerebrospinal fluid to flush away toxic byproducts that accumulate between cells.
Okay. Can I show you one more? I don't know whether there is time. If you tell me, I will show that. Okay. Yeah. This goes on fatigue. Can you see this? Class?
Yes, ma'am.
Progressive loss of physical and mental ability due to lack of sleep. That is correct.
Feeling tired or drowsy after prolonged mental or physical effort at work is normal. Fatigue, however, is more than just feeling tired. Fatigue is an acute and/or chronic state of tiredness that can lead to mental and/or physical exhaustion. Fatigue prevents people from functioning within normal boundaries. Fatigue can be physical, mental, or both. It is worth noting that fatigue is a symptom rather than a disease or disorder. This means if properly identified, fatigue can be effectively managed and controlled.
Which I will say, see the symptoms. It can be controlled. Otherwise, it can be devastating.
Fatigue can typically result from all types of work activities: mental stress, overstimulation, understimulation, active recreation, depression, boredom, disease, and
Note down these words. These are the causes of fatigue. Quickly, you can say one of them. I have given you some factors. These are also additional factors. These are the causes of fatigue. If you are written, you let me know. Yes? Done? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. It's some symptom. It's not a disease, but it can be very dangerous if it is not attended. So you please identify the symptoms. Automatically, this can be corrected and you can get away from accidents. Fatigue causes accidents. That's quite obvious, is it not? Can I start?
and most
Yes, ma'am.
obviously, lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep is the last one I enter.
It has been stated that being awake for 17 hours impairs performance to the same level as having a 0.05% blood.
Note down this. If you are awake for 17 hours, see I told you, BSE also goes up. 0.05%, you cannot cross 0.04%. The alcohol content is increasing. That is the drawback. He is not drunk. He's not taken alcohol, but because he has not slept for 17 hours. That's why we give 8 to 14 hours only extended, not more than that. You have to go to bed. Is it not? That we have seen in our Maritime Labor Convention. Is it not? 2.3a. Note down this. Some statistics is required. Yes, have you entered? Shall I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Blood alcohol content. Fatigue can be caused by a range of factors, both at work and outside work. Work-related factors can include working for long periods of time, insufficient recovery time between work.
Long periods of time and insufficient recovery time. See, you are not recovered the time. See, whatever you lost, you do some napping and recover it. But you have not done it. It can be. That's how you are converting the fatigue to accidents. They're not.
Work periods. Working at unusual times of day.
Working at unusual times of the day. That is what night shift.
For example, at nighttime. Especially complicated and mentally demanding tasks.
When you're working on complicated and demanding tasks, that also is, you take some extra time.
Boring and repetitive tasks.
Here also you take extra time.
And physically demanding tasks.
Yes, this is where it leads to fatigue.
Factors outside of work that can cause fatigue include lack of sleep, poor quality of sleep or sleep disorders, stressful personal circumstances related to home and family,
Family problems.
having more than one job,
Yes, you're running
having to
around.
travel a long way to work,
Traveling, you don't get
poor
sleep.
diet, and so on. The effects of fatigue can be both short and long-term. In the short term, fatigue can significantly affect your ability to do your job. Fatigue slows reaction time.
This is a short term. Short-term effects of fatigue, write down, slows the reaction time. You say, what? Why this fellow is saying so? You cannot pick up. He's not able to. Is he having a poor listening skills? The boss gets annoyed. It is because of lack of sleep. He's a victim of fatigue. And so the short-term effect is it slows your reaction times.
Reduces your ability.
Reduces concentration and coordination. You're not able to interact. You're not able to concentrate. That means you're committing mistakes.
To concentrate and coordinate hand-eye movements. Affects decision-making ability.
It affects the decision-making ability of taking wrong decisions. These are immediate effects.
Impairs communication.
Communication skills are affected because you are not able to convey your ideas clearly. You don't know what you're speaking. It's slurred speech, as if you are drunk.
Skills. And
Negatively affects your memory. Very sad. Poor memory. Poor response. Slow response. Poor memory.
affects your memory. Importantly, it can also reduce your ability to recognize and appreciate risks.
Oh, that's a very worst thing. You are not able to identify the risk.
This means that people suffering from fatigue at work are much more likely to make mistakes. And therefore, the likelihood of accidents and injuries is also increased.
So mistakes, injuries, accidents, these are the consequences.
In the long term,
see the long
fatigue
term.
can increase the risk of serious physical and mental health problems, such as heart disease,
Long term is heart disease,
diabetes,
diabetes,
high blood pressure,
high blood pressure,
depression,
depression.
and so on.
These are long
The
term.
negative effects of fatigue extend to more than just health and safety. Fatigue also reduces work performance and therefore impacts not only on safety, but on productivity.
So it affects the safety and productivity. You're no longer you're safe because you're going to really close your eyes. You're not able to control. And that's going to be
Taking
very
steps to
serious.
reduce fatigue in the workplace is important for the safety of individuals, but will also benefit the overall performance of the organization.
Forget the safety measures. See the hazards and consequences.
So what hazards does fatigue present in the workplace? The most obvious hazard occurs when a fatigued person actually falls asleep, even for a split second. If the person is working with hazardous materials,
Working with hazardous material, he has to be extremely careful. That time he should not be a victim of fatigue.
working with equipment or
Working with equipment or machinery, that time he should not be a fatigued employee.
machinery, or in control of a vehicle,
Or in control of a vehicle. These three areas, he has to be extremely careful. You should not be fatigued person. Hazardous material, equipment or machinery, or in control of a vehicle, or he is driving.
falling asleep can have obvious catastrophic consequences.
Yes, was it clear? Yeah.
Yes,
I don't. Yeah, I don't think we have. I have one more video, but I don't know whether I can show you. It's about the slip, strips, and falls. Very important. Okay, if you say so, I'll show you one more. Okay. Is it okay? I'll just show you one more quickly.
Ma'am, time is up.
Time up. Okay. This is about slip trip. I'll just. I will not work out much on it. Maybe. What's your next class? Whose it is? Whose class it is? Yeah.
Ma'am, already it's completed, ma'am, at 4
Yes,
o'clock.
ma'am. This is the last one.
This is the last. Okay, then see this one video and leave it. Okay. Just see one video. This is very important for you. Slip strips. Can you see it? Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone? Huh?
Yes,
Could
ma'am.
you see or not? No.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, correct. Okay. See it. Arey. Arey, what happened to this? What happened to this? Why it's not playing? What's wrong here? I don't know. Something went wrong. But it's not opening here. Thought I will show you this last one for slip strips. It's there are a lot of points in it that you can really, 1 minute. See the last chance. If not, I'll leave it. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you
Yes,
see?
ma'am.
How can you prevent these three? Slips, strips, and falls. These are all questions asked
Slips,
in the interview.
trips,
That's
and
why I'm worried.
falls are a major category of workplace accidents and result in a significant number of injuries. The three most important factors contributing to the occurrence of slips, trips, and falls are poor design of the work.
Poor design. First point. These questions are asked. How can you avoid this slips, trips, and falls? First, the reason is poor design.
Poor workplace practices and
Poor workplace practices. Just note down the word.
procedures, and inappropriate behavior.
Inappropriate behavior. 3 reasons for slips, falls, and
More specific causes include obstructions on the floor,
next is obstruction on the floor. You saw that, no? The mat was just raised up.
wet, slippery, or uneven.
Wet, slippery, or uneven floors. These are all the causes for slips, falls, and trips. Then there's an injury, nothing else.
Floors and walkways. Lack of signposting and barriers.
Lack of signposting. Because there's no posting, there's no signs saying that there's a wet floor, nothing.
Inadequate lighting.
Inadequate lighting. Note down these points. Just the points you should know to answer. These are all interview questions. That's why I'm highlighting.
Misuse of equipment and
Misuse of equipment.
inappropriate footwear.
Inappropriate footwear.
And failure to follow correct manual handling.
Incorrect manual handling. You don't know how to handle it. Safety measures are poor. Note it down. Just points you note down.
Procedures. By following some basic safety principles, the accidents and injuries that result from slips, trips, and falls can be dramatically reduced.
Under housekeeping.
Good housekeeping practices are essential for the prevention of slips, trips, and falls, and underpin many of the control measures that should be implemented to reduce these kinds of accidents. All work areas should be neat and tidy and adequately illuminated. Trash should be removed regularly. Cables and power cords should be kept out of the way and should never be stretched across areas where people walk. Small movable objects should generally be kept off the floor or placed in areas where they will not be in the way. And drawers and cupboard doors should be kept closed.
Cupboard
Because
doors.
normal work practices require you to be able to move freely from one work area to another, it's important to make sure there's nothing in your way. Aisles and walkways should be kept clean and clear of obstructions and should never be used as storage areas. In industrial environments, they should be clearly marked and wide enough to allow the safe passage of equipment, materials, and people. Stairways and landings should be maintained in good order, cleaned regularly, and again, be kept free of all obstructions, including grates and mats that could trip an unsuspecting person. Floors, aisles, and walkways should be maintained in good order. Carpets should be properly secured and not have areas that are badly worn or torn. Rugs and mats should be in good repair and only be used in suitable locations where they are unlikely to be a potential tripping hazard. Hard floors should be kept clean and dry at all times. Oil, grease, powders, water, food scraps, and other general waste can cause slips and should be cleaned up immediately. When cleaning up significant spills or during general cleaning activities when floors may be slippery, safety signs should be used to alert people to the fact that a hazard exists. In many cases, temporary barricading should be used in conjunction with safety signs to restrict access to the area until the area is again safe. Safety signs and temporary barricading should also be used to warn of other temporary operations, such as
That's it. Yeah. Right. I don't know. You don't have time further. Otherwise, anyway, in the ordinary class, I will show you the idea of, there is a great story, I have to show a great story. I have to show about eagle. Great story is good for communication. Okay. And for teamwork also, I've got 2 small petty videos. Okay, and I think I am ready to show you, but the point is you should not feel that you have lost your time. If you're ready, I'll show you now also. No issue. Can you see? You have the time? Can spare time? I have no problem. Portions are done. Only I'm showing you the teamwork and some videos on the idea. I'll show it to you. No issue. I think it's your feeling. Okay, then I will show you. Again, the problem arises is basically starting off it. That is what. For me, it takes a little time, unlike others. They do it very fast. I take a little extra time. Class, can you see? I'm afraid. Yeah, can you see? Okay. Wait, huh? Yeah. Okay, can you see this? Can you read it? Can you read it? Yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the first one I changed, huh? I hope you read the first one. Okay. Third one. Right? That means if she was in a bad mood, she would have punched him for being so daring to eat away each cookies. So when she took one, he also took one. But she decided not to create a scene. Even the last cookie, he broke 2 in pieces and he passed on to her. Now she's going to the boarding place. So now, what's the condition there? The thing is, the cookies are with her. Then whose cookie is what she eating? That man's cookie, whom she called him as an abusive man. But Ed, you realize late you're wrong. But he shared. He had the courtesy to share without getting angry. So many a times you don't get chance to apologize. So you cannot recover certain things. Such as the stone after the throw, the word after it's said. That's what before speaking, think and speak. Because you cannot recover it. The occasion after the loss. And the time after it is gone. You cannot recover. That's what it means. There is something called I think many boys left are what? Yes, what's the condition? I'm afraid I don't know. I'm just showing the videos. Huh? Many left. Oh my God, I don't know what's wrong. They can't even see. I know the study part is over, agree. But something you can gain from it, is it not? It's not that there's no studies means it's no use. No, no, no. It's not that courtesy to stay on. I don't understand. Anyway, this is the last thing I'll show you. Can you see? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You can see.
Okay. Okay. See, its talons are really becoming weak after 40. Now it has to live for 70 years. But see, in the 40, this is the problem she faces. The beak is bent. Feathers become thick. And doesn't allow it to fly. Now the eagle is left with two options. Either die with all this limitations or go for a painful process and live for 30 more years. 150 days. And the whole process takes 150 days. Sorry. Now see the process. Goes and sits on the nest, mountain top. Knocks its beak. My God, so painful. And it plucks away all its beak and waits for the beak to grow. Then it removes all its talons so that the talons also will regrow so that it can catch its prey. Now it's picking up all its feathers, so painful. Then it waits for the feathers also to regrow. After that 5 months, 150 days, it starts flying. It's a new birth and it lives for 30 more years. That's what is a very important thing. Is a change needed? Yes. To survive, to live a better life and get rid of the old memories and your past traditions, you need to have a change. Change is for betterment. So the past burdens, past memories, past traditions, all can be, you can overcome that and then you take the benefit of it in the present. So that's why change is enough. What is static is change. The day the change stops, the world will come to a standstill. Like mobile. See how many? Those days we never thought we'll have a mobile. Is it not? Everything there is a change. Change is requirement. Right. That's it. We stop here. Teamwork, I'll show you because many boys have left. I don't like that. Okay. For teamwork, I had small few videos. Nothing great. So, right. Yes, boys, I think everything was clear to you. Whatever I said, my portions. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay. See you then. See you in the next class, in the normal class. Till then, see you. Bye-bye. Take care. Be safe. Be in. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Right.
Thank you, ma'am.